Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Vermont Tech. We're so excited to have you here. My name is Jason. I'm your Dean of Students, and I'm going to be your moderator throughout the day. If you haven't used Zoom before, we're going to do a little tutorial. So let me introduce you to Corey Tardy. She's our Associate Dean of Admissions and a Zoom expert that'll give you some tips.
Thank you all for coming today. Like Jason said, I just want to do a brief overview of the logistics of using Zoom in case you haven't used it before. First, I would recommend everyone to use the speaker view. This will show only the person talking on your main screen. If you're currently seeing several people kind of like in the Brady Bunch on your screen, just go to the top right-hand corner and at the top, it'll list which view you have. If it says that gallery view with 9 little dots as an icon,
at a conference call.
You will just click on it and then it'll change you automatically to the speaker view. Jason's going to be going over the schedule with you in just a second. I'll add that into the chat box, but we have workshop breakout sessions that you'll be prompted to join a breakout room by a pop-up. All you have to do for that is select join. If it doesn't pop up immediately, you can go to the bottom of your screen towards the right. There's an icon with 4 squares that says breakout rooms. In there, you just select join. And if you have any difficulty, just stay in the main room and I can walk you through the process and how to get into there. When your workshop's done, all you have to do is select right in that bottom right-hand side, the leave room button. Make sure you select leave room instead of leave meeting, but if you do for some reason leave the whole meeting, just click back in the link that you did to join this meeting and I'll get you right where you need to go.
Thanks, Corey. So what I'd like to do now is just talk you through what the morning is going to look like. So I am going to share my screen. There we go. Can everybody see the agenda? Shake your head. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. So we've tried to condense orientation down from what we would normally do if we were in person. It would be a full day. We've tried to condense it down into a morning, but we left the afternoon open to do some breakout sessions with individual offices. But we understand Zoom is not the same as seeing you face to face, so we didn't want to have you have to sit through an 8-hour Zoom session. So hopefully in advance you've reviewed the welcome packet on our online first year experience course. If you haven't, that's okay. You can still go in and see it, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the program. But offices did prepare a welcome packet with some important information about what they do and things available to you. So that was kind of your pre-homework if you did it, but if not, that's okay. First thing that we're going to do this morning, you're going to get a welcome from our college president, Pat Moulton, so she'll be kicking it off in just a couple minutes. Then we're going to move into breakout sessions. There'll be 3 of these breakout sessions, so you're going to rotate. There are colors, but don't have to worry about that. Corey's got you scheduled to break out. But the first breakout session, if you happen to be sent into color orange, would be the student affairs panel, and you'll get to hear from student affairs staff on the services we provide. The second breakout session you might start in at 9:10 would be Introduction to Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, or the third would be Getting to Know One Another, and that's led by our student leaders. So you'll get to hear from the experts, the people that are currently students at Vermont Tech. After that, we come back together. So those breakout sessions are smaller groups, about 50 or so, where you'll have the opportunity to interact a little more. Then we'll come back together in the big group session again to hear about general academic information from our academic dean's office. And then you'll get to hear about information from key student services. That includes financial aid, billing, how to register for classes, or how you will be registered for classes, I should say, as a first-year student. After that, also as a big group session, we'll have information from our library and our Center for Academic Success. Then we move into those breakout sessions again. We've got 2 more, which would make sense because you've got 3 total we've got to get through. So don't worry, you'll get sent into the sessions you need to go to. And then finally, we wrap up with information about our online first year experience. This is your first orientation of the college, but we've got opportunities throughout the summer where you can go online and learn more about what it's like to be a student at Vermont Tech. And that'll get you prepped for the start of classes. And before the start of classes, we have something called Welcome Weekend. So for those that are going to be living on campus, we have you come a little bit early to move in. And for those that aren't living on campus, you come the day before classes to get to meet your faculty advisor and really hear about your programs a little bit more. So the afternoon, not required at all, but if you have additional questions, we have drop-in hours. And I'm going to go through this schedule at the end, but the drop-in hours vary per office, but they can range anywhere from 12:30 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. So hopefully that's some good information on what we're going to see today, and I need to stop my sharing. There we go. All right. Before we kick it off, any questions about logistics of the day? You're welcome to either type in the chat, which I see one chat, or you could, oh, that was Corey, or you could unmute yourself, or if I don't hear anything, I'll assume we're good to go. All right, good to go. So our first speaker of the day, Pat Moulton, is the president of Vermont Technical College, and I am pleased to introduce her.
Thank you so much, Jason, and good morning and happy summer to us all. And what a great summer thus far. And welcome to Vermont Technical College. We're so happy.
Pat, you went muted. She's still muted. Corey, do you know if it's any? Let me try to
unmute. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, shoot. Wait. Stop. Wrong piece. Sorry. My apologies, everyone. But welcome to Vermont Tech. If everyone can hear me now? Yes? Oh, shoot. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, Pat. You're good.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. Well, we're thrilled to have you here for orientation, and we're thrilled that you chose Vermont Tech. And you're a wise student for choosing Vermont Tech. And why are you wise? Because you know we have the best return on investment for your tuition of any college or university in Vermont. Vermont Tech is number one. What does that mean? It means you will earn back your tuition investment faster than any other college or university in Vermont, which is pretty amazing. Vermont Tech also boasts a 98 to 100% placement rate for all of our graduates. 99% of our graduates last year went on to a job or to continue their education, having built a solid foundation here at Vermont Tech. Many had more than one job offer before they graduate. We have strong employer partnerships and more developing every year. Employers love our graduates. Their only complaint is there's not enough of you. But you're here to fix that problem by coming to Vermont Tech so the employers can hire you. You're also wise because you know Vermont Tech graduates boast the 4th highest wages post-graduation of any Vermont college or university. But also Vermont Tech grads have the 5th lowest debt of any college or university in Vermont. So you're a part of a wise group of students being here today and attending Vermont Tech. And while you're here with us in this Zoom session today, please take the time to learn about the resources available to help you. Jason went over some of the breakout rooms and opportunities, but do learn because there's a lot here to help you succeed. Hartness Library is one of them. Our librarians are super sleuths that will help you find the book, the article, database, whatever it is you need to accomplish your work. Use them to your advantage. Also, our Center for Academic Success is another treasure. CAS, as we call it, is located in the Conant Hall, as you'll find out, and academic counselors are there to help you. They also have tutors available to help you in almost any subject. Utilize these resources. They're free. And don't wait till you're drowning. Come in early, get to know them, set up some schedules. Our career services offices will help you with resume writing, job search, and so much more, as well as helping you find a paid summer internship. Many of you will be required to do a summer internship. It's a great idea for all of you. Learn about the work you will do, check out employers, and get your foot in the door with employers. You get to know them, they get to know you. Use the resources of the career services offices while you're here and after you graduate. One of the important differences here with Vermont Tech is that we're small. We're a community here. You're a name, not a number. There's an excitement and caring environment amongst the faculty and the staff. We're approachable and available. We want you to succeed. And you're going to find this is going to be a different semester than normal due to COVID-19. When you get here, you will see measures in place to protect us all. And you'll be part of a community here that needs to work together to protect each other. And we're going to be requiring you to wear face coverings. And we know that's not convenient, but I want to show you a little video that will help you understand why face coverings are so important. So bear with me while I share my screen to show this video. So hang on a second. Here we go. Getting there slowly but surely. Okay, share screen. Okay. And hang on, here we go. Okay, so let me stop sharing. There we go. So that's really about what I want you to understand is the importance of protecting each other. The face mask, or excuse me, facial covering is really more about protecting people around you than protecting you. But with these protocols, washing your hands frequently, keeping socially distant from others, sticking around campus versus doing a lot of travel, this is part of our new normal. And we're asking us all to watch out for each other. So I want you to also remember while you're here to have some fun. You may meet people here who will become lifelong friends. Some of my best friends are folks I met my freshman year of college. So thank you for choosing Vermont Tech. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here.
Welcome back to the big group session. Oh, it looks like everybody made it, and hopefully we got some new people on. I know there was a glitch a little earlier, but Corey tells me she got it fixed. So thank you to those that had a little bit of trouble but stayed with us and are on the session. Welcome to Vermont Tech. At the end, if there's anything you missed at the beginning, we're happy to cover it. But I think you probably just missed the welcome from Pat, which is an amazing welcome, but we can cover that later if you like. But so we're moving into our next session, which I believe, if I pull my schedule up, is the general academic presentation. And I believe it's starting out with Rose Distel, our Associate Academic Dean. So Rose, were you able to get online? Are you with us?
I am here, Jason. Thank you. And I was just looking at the clock. It's like, oh, it's my turn. I gotta get up. So
yeah, feel free to kick off.
Yeah, let me share my screen. Okay, everybody see that? Good. All right, so I'm Rosemary Distel. I'm the Associate Academic Dean, and the Academic Dean is Anna Gayet, and she's off today. She's celebrating a big birthday, so we let her sort of do that today. But first thing I want to do is congratulate you. You've made a great decision to apply and enroll at Vermont Tech. I sort of feel a special connection to many of you. I'm a graduate of Vermont Tech, probably about 100 years ago. But my daughter is also a graduate. She just graduated this past spring from the dental hygiene program. She has an excellent full-time job with Timberlane Dental, and she got her start at Vermont Tech through the Vermont Academy of Science and Technology, which she very much enjoyed. So any of you VAST students out there, you've made a wise decision to do that program. I just want to give a little bit of information. Many of you are from, I don't know where those lines just came from. Many of you are from right out of high school, and we also have some transfer students and some older students. But one of the things that I wanted to just sort of point out a few of the differences from high school to college. quite often I hear high school students indicating that they had chances to retest. Maybe they didn't do so well on the first test. And we don't tend to do that here. You've really got to push yourself to do the best that you can anytime that there's work required of you. The other thing that's different is quite often for students in high school, they have their parents or guardians or someone involved with how they're doing at school academically. Here at college, we have a different sort of scenario regarding that. There's a law called the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, and that says that we can't give information about a student without the student's permission. And you will learn a little bit more about how to give permission to anyone if you wish to do so. And you would do that under web services. And but some of your parents will have an interest in how you're doing academically, and they may call me, they may call your faculty advisor, and we, again, are not allowed to give any of that information out unless you've given us permission. And you can enter that information under web services. You'll have quite a bit of free time. Your schedule can vary from semester to semester. You might not be in class, say, for instance, like, 8 to 3 o'clock as the way high school might have been. And you need to take advantage of the free time. You can't think, oh, I just have free time and I can do whatever. You want to sort of schedule your time to work on your homework and do studying as well. Your courses will vary. Quite often lectures are about 15 minutes long, but there are some schedules that are set up that are lectures are 75 minutes. And you'll have a lot of laboratory or design studios, hands-on labs that can be 2 to 3 hours long, which sounds like a long period of time, but it really isn't, because it's the sort of things that the students enjoy doing. There'll also be face-to-face in-person classes, and there'll be online classes, and there'll be sort of a hybrid combination of the two. And many of you, if you were in school this past spring semester, of course, got pretty used to doing remote learning. One of the things to keep in mind that we recommend for any sort of online or remote learning is to really be self-disciplined in how you participate in those. I would almost recommend that you actually set aside a specified time where you think you're going to work specifically on this particular course, versus waiting until maybe Sunday night to submit your coursework, your homework, or do the quiz things. You never know with technology. There could be power outages and things like that. So if you wait until the last minute, you might have difficulty submitting that information. Each student will be assigned an academic advisor. Most of the time it's someone specifically in your degree program, but sometimes some students will have an advisor who might be in the science department or the math department. You will want to make connections with the advisors. They're a very important asset that you would have here at the college. They're really good listeners. If you have issues in regards to anything, whether it's academics or things that are happening in your personal life that might be getting in the way of your education and study time, talk to them about it. They can direct you to other people here at the college that can give you some additional support, such as folks from the Center for Academic Success, which you'll hear about after this session. We have quite a few transfer students, and it's important to make sure that you have reviewed what the registrar's office has given you for transfer credit, and to work with your advisor to make sure that those are all in place, because that will help with the amount of coursework that you need here and possibly shorten your time period towards your VTC degree. Canvas is our learning management system, and some of you may have already used Canvas or something similar to it, maybe Blackboard or Moodle. And we use that here at Vermont Tech. It's a place where instructors can post their grades, and they might have videos, they might have their lecture recordings there. It's especially very important if you are doing an online remote course. Many of the assignments are there, and it's one of the things I hear quite often from faculty is it's really important to go in and participate in those discussion boards. A lot of the online classes, that's part of your grade. And again, it's trying to remain in contact with your faculty member on what they have for expectations for the course. I'm always amazed at how often a student may tell me that they're not sure how they're doing in a course, and that really shouldn't be the case. You either would be able to see your grades online in the Canvas setting, or if you don't know, just ask your instructor. It's part of their job, and it's very important to know how you're doing. We want to try and get access to students that are having difficulty right away. So around the 5th week of classes, we put out what we call academic alert. So any students that might be doing poorly, whether it's grade-wise, low grades or failing, or other issues of lack of attendance or not submitting your assignments or not participating in those discussion boards in an online class. So we'll send out an alert, and a student will get an email indicating that they do have an alert, and there'll be instructions on how you'll be able to see what that alert is, and then you can talk more specifically with your instructor and your advisor. We also get that information to various departments of the college so that we can give additional support. The alerts can go out at any time, though. It's not just around the 5th week. We can, don't think that once the 5th week is over, you're going to be able to kind of sail through the rest of the semester. If we find that a student is having difficulty in the course, we'll get that information out and try and get the support to you. One of the things, too, to keep in mind is deadlines on when you can withdraw from a course. And a student can leave a course at any point up until the 60th percent in the semester and receive a W grade, or meaning a withdrawal grade. But it's important that if you think that you want to withdraw from a course, that you discuss it with your advisor to make sure that it doesn't, what the impact might be on your track to graduate. Also, you need to make sure that the process is done officially with the registrar's office. If you just stop attending a class, you might just actually end up with an earned grade, and we certainly don't want that to happen. Some courses and some programs have minimum grades in which you need to have to be able to continue. For instance, some of our math courses might require a minimum grade of C- to go on to the next level course. There's quite a few of our programs, especially our health sciences programs, which require minimum grades to be able to continue in the program into the next semester. So you'll want to be aware. Each instructor should give you a course syllabus as to what the requirements are for grades, and also in regards to attendance and so forth. So make sure that you are fully aware of what each course has for a requirement. Ultimately, you need a cumulative GPA of a 2.0 to graduate. And the term GPA is what helps us determine who makes it on the president's list or dean's list, probation, or possible program dismissal. So if you're struggling in class, I think Vermont Tech is excellent in assisting students with being successful here. And, but a lot of it is a matter of sort of reaching out to people. Again, you'll hear a little bit more about the services under the Center for Academic Success, but we have tutors available. We have paraprofessional tutors and peer tutors. And it's really important to take advantage of those and sign up for them as soon as possible. We have students that may go to the Center for Academic Success sit there and do their homework, even if they're not having any difficulty, because if they do run into difficulty, they might have someone there to help them. We also have, for some of the students, you'll be assigned some math and science recitation. It's essentially sort of like an extra help session for those courses where the faculty member will be there and you'll be able to get assistance from them. It would seem to be sort of a no-brainer to do homework, but a lot of times once students are in the college setting, they think, oh, you know, homework, maybe that's optional and I don't necessarily need to do that. But I know for some of the courses, for instance, math, quite often their weekly quizzes might be based on the exact same homework assignments they had. So if you do your homework, you should be able to be successful in that weekly quiz. If you only remember one thing from today's orientation, it's read your VTC email. That's our official mode of communication. It's very important. I know you get tons of email and you might think, oh, I can't keep up with it. But there are filtering ways that you can make sure that your VTC email is available and for you to check that on a regular basis. Sometimes there might be changes to your schedule or assignment or something like that that your faculty member is trying to reach out to you. You also want to try and manage distractions. College has a lot of different opportunities for you. We want you to enjoy your time and have fun, but you need to learn your time management. Again, seek assistance early. Don't think that you're the only one who needs help. And the earlier that you ask for help, the better chances of being successful in your course and the program. Make choices carefully. If you're working with some of your friends, choose the friends that are doing well. Don't choose your friends who might be struggling as much as you are, because it may sort of lead you down the wrong path. So make sure you make choices carefully. Also take self-responsibility. Again, if I meet with students that might be struggling academically, a lot of times they're quick to sort of place the blame on others. Oh, my faculty member didn't do this, or my computer, didn't work. I couldn't get into the network. IT wasn't helping me, and so forth. Well, if you are having difficulties, you need to take the self-responsibility to try and correct those issues that you may be having. And don't be so quick to place the blame on others. And finally, it's very important to remain healthy, especially in these trying times with COVID, but just in general. Make sure that you are eating well, sleeping well. Don't, stay up all night, having too much fun, because it really is important and it does affect your quality of your academic time here. So at this point, if we do have time, Jason, we could ask for some questions, or we can also wait until the end.
I'm thinking, why don't we wait? Let's do the Key Student Service presentation, and then we'll save questions on both academics and Key Student Services for the end, if that's okay with you, Rose.
Okay, that sounds fine.
All right, so next up we have Kathy McCullough. She's our Executive Director of Key Student Services, and she'll introduce you to her team. Kathy, you ready to go?
And Kathy is actually out today, Jason. So this is Liz. Sorry about that.
We have Liz Woolley, Assistant Director of Key
Liz Woolley today as your main person. So I will go ahead and share my screen. Okay, slideshow. From the beginning. Okay, so welcome everyone. So I wanted to introduce our Key Student Services Department, which is comprised of financial aid, registrar, and student accounts. And just a quick run through of our staff. As Jason just mentioned, we have Catherine McCullough, and then we have Jeannie Stella Devani. She's our Director of Financial Aid. Our Shelley Russ, she's our registrar. Angela Hildenbrand, our coordinator of student accounts. Myself, Liz Woolley, I am the assistant director of financial aid. We have Darlene Jones, our associate registrar, and Marla Tilberg, our student services consultant, and also our VA certifying official. And I will mention that this PowerPoint is available for your reference on Canvas. And we will have it posted on our website as well. And vtc.edu is a great reference for you all as well. We have a lot of good information out there. So key student services, what we do. So financial aid, we cover the FAFSA, we do federal aid and grants, we process scholarships, loans, and we also manage the work-study program. The registrar, they handle course registration, your schedule, your major, and they process transcripts as well as handle graduation requirements, and they do add and drop courses as well. And our student accounts office, they handle the billing sides, they do the military and veterans benefits, refunds, and handle your statement of account. So FERPA, just to touch on FERPA again, as Rose had gone over, it's the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. This is very important, especially if you want somebody to speak with us about your record, your billing statement, especially if you have somebody who is going to be either paying your bill or working directly with us to handle your billing sides. You definitely want to add them to your FERPA authorization. And that's done in the portal, and I'll actually skip to the next slide because this is where you would find it. So granting FERPA access, you would go through the portal and click on your student academic profile and then on FERPA authorization form. And it's pretty quick and easy to set up. And so you want to get that done for, you can add multiple people to your FERPA access. And just to go back the slide, so granting authorized user info or authorized user access, sorry. This is important for anyone who will be making regular payments on your bill or needing to access your 1098T for tax season. You would go into the VSE billing system and click on the payments authorized user, and then you'll see that tab for authorized user, and then just follow the prompts as it asks you to set up an authorized user. And so some more important information, this one is pretty big, is waiving or accepting the student health insurance. So all full-time students are required to be covered under a health insurance plan. So if you're not currently covered under your own plan or under a parent's plan, you do need to accept the student health insurance through VTC. And that's also located in the portal, and it's under the student billing financials tab. So if you are covered, what you'll need to do is you'll need to just say, no, I do not wish to enroll. And then you'll have to enter in your carrier and your policy number and expiration date if there is one. And then you would just check the box for the electronic signature and hit submit. And then that takes 24 hours for that charge to waive off of your bill. So some more important information on the registrar side. So accessing your VSC class schedule and program evaluation. Our registrar's office has been diligent in getting new students registered for the fall. So the majority of you, I think all of you should be registered by today and should be able to access your class schedules in the portal. So that's, you log into the portal, and then under student academic profile is where you find your class schedule. And then under student academic planning is where you'd find your program evaluation. So your bill, when you're looking at your bill, it can be comprised of certain things. So account activity, tuition, the mandatory fees, housing, meal plan, course lab fees, if applicable, and then any VTC payments made to date. And then you will see some pending activity there. So that would include mostly financial aid and third-party payments. And then any anticipated payments, so any future VTC payments or financial aid would be their anticipated piece. And then other billing charges could include bookstore charges, parking fines, new institutional charges. So for example, the graduation fee, student conduct, damage charges, and then any charges added after the bill due date are due immediately. So next slide here. So where is my bill? So you will actually only be mailed one paper bill in the summer, and we've already started mailing out those for students who are registered. We will have a second round of bills being mailed out. But after that one paper bill goes out, you have access to your live billing statement 24/7 within your self-service account. And that's also in the portal. So you log into the portal and you'll see over on the right-hand side, click here for self-service, and you'll go in there. Everything's all live for you. And that's on the student's end. If you have an authorized user that's set up, they only have access to the VSC billing system, which is a little different because it's not live information. And that statement that's provided out there is only produced once a month on or around the 10th of each month. And billing notifications are sent to the student's vtc.edu email and to the authorized user who is set up as well. And again, where's my bill? So view and pay your bill. I just went through a little bit of that. So portal, self-service, and then you would log in with your portal user ID and password again and select student finance, and then you can select the semester bill you wish to view. Different payment options that we accept: cash, check, money order, financial aid and outside loans, online electronic checks, there's no service fee for those, credit and debit cards, online there is a 2.85% service fee, and payments using the credit debit card can only be done online. We do not accept in-person or over the phone credit debit card payments. And then we do accept any scholarships from outside organizations, third-party payments, 529 education savings plan, and then we do have a variety of payment plans per semester, and those are located on our VTC website. And you can just, when you access into Canvas, you can click on that link for the VTC payment plans and look at our website and see what there is. They're by semester, so you do have to have your first semester paid off before you can move into your next semester. And so the major semester billing due dates also posted on our website, the 2020 fall term. Any students registered prior to August 1st, the bills are due August 1st. And those are with payment arrangements. So it can be pending financial aid, a combination of pending financial aid with payments already made. So there are a variety of options for you. Late payments, so paying your bill on time will avoid you having a $143 late payment fee after the start of the term. And then a financial hold, if you have not paid your bill on time, a financial hold will be put on your account and you will be notified of that. And the financial hold will prevent you from obtaining your transcript, diploma, or registering for future classes. The financial hold does not kick you out of classes for the term that you're currently in. We get that question all the time. So just keep that in mind, that it'll prevent you from moving to the next semester, but not kick you out of your current semester classes. So different types of federal student aid that are available. So by doing the FAFSA, that applies you for gift aid, federal work study, and federal student loans. So gift aid is free money, does not need to be repaid, and those are grants and scholarships. And then federal work study, that's considered self-help aid. And that actually lets you earn as you learn by providing flexible work schedules around your courses. So our departments on campus are very flexible with student schedules. And even if you're in one of our remote sites, like one of our nursing sites, you can talk to your program director to see if there's any opportunities for any sort of like lab tech positions or anything. If you are work study eligible, we can always work with you and to figure something out. And then student loans, that is money that is borrowed and is repaid over several years with interest. So the federal direct student loans include the federal subsidized and the federal unsubsidized loans. And the main difference between those two is that the subsidized loan does not accrue any interest while the student is in school. The unsubsidized loan, that interest does begin to accrue at the first disbursement. So when we disperse in August, that's when you see your interest starting to accrue on those. And good news, the interest rates have come down quite a bit for those for this current year. So they're going to be at 2.75%. And that is fixed for the life of the loan. And then repayment on those federal loans begins after a student graduates from school, withdraws, or drops below half-time, which is if you drop below 6 credits, that's when you would go into your grace period. All borrowers have a one-time 6-month grace period before they have to start repaying on those. And so just a note at the bottom, so 2 final steps before first-time borrowers can receive those federal loans. The first is entrance counseling, which is a tutorial on your rights and responsibilities for the federal loan program. And then the master promissory note, which is your promise to repay. And those are both located online at studentaid.gov. And then the last federal loan is actually a federal direct parent loan. So the parent loan is for dependent students, and it is a federal loan. And so they would, a parent would need to submit a paper application to the VTC financial aid office, and they can either request a specific amount or request enough to cover the bill. And that one, the interest rate also has come down. That's a fixed 5.3% interest rate on those. And then another thing with the parent loan, if a parent applies and they get denied, that would then make the student eligible for an additional unsubsidized loan. So freshman, sophomore years, it's $4,000, but if you're a junior or senior, it's $5,000 for the additional unsub loan. But a parent does have to be denied in order for you to be eligible for that additional unsubsidized loan. And then payments on the Parent Plus loan begin 60 days after the final academic year disbursement. So that's after the spring disbursement. And then other types of loans would be private student loans. So there's private student loans, and a lot of companies are actually getting in on private parent loans as well. So not to be confused with the federal parent loan. So we do have a listing of lenders on our website, on our private loan page that our students have used in the past 3 years. So you can go out there and look at a listing of those lenders. You would apply for one of those loans through the company of your choice. And most of those do require a cosigner. However, those loans are based on creditworthiness. So you know, it depends on your credit history, on the length of your credit history, if they would approve you for a loan without a cosigner. But usually they do, most of those do usually require a cosigner. And then last, student employment or work study, federal work study, those funds are not applied directly to your bill. You earn those funds as you work. And then as you get those paychecks, you can do with those what you wish. We do have some students turn around, cash those and pay on their bill. But a lot of times students will just use those as like gas money or pizza money, something just a little extra in their pocket. And so students are responsible for securing their position on campus or off campus. And we do encourage community service. And you can talk with Dana Mitchell if you are interested in community service positions. We can work with you to get set up with an outside organization. Nonprofits are what we work with. So just contact our office if that's something you're interested in. Working on campus is encouraged, and it creates good relationships with the faculty, staff, and the community. And then it also provides additional learning and work experience. Many of our students are working within their majors. However, you're not required to. So. And then lastly, so veterans and veterans dependents, so the benefit application process. I know there's a lot on this screen, so if you have specific questions, Marla Tilburg is our VA certifying official here. You can reach out to her. Her email is listed at the bottom. But really the first steps in getting your benefits activated, we need to receive a certificate of eligibility or a notice of basic eligibility from you. So applying for your benefits, you go right out to the va.gov website, which that link is provided on this page. And then once you get your certificate of eligibility, please send that in to us by mail. If you email it, make sure your social security number is not on there. So you can, best way is to either mail it or fax it to us. So just a quick next steps, just to recap, I'm checking my time and we're doing pretty good on time. Completing the FAFSA, if you haven't done so already, it's not too late. That's the 2021 free application for federal student aid. And if you're a Vermont resident, apply for a VSAC state incentive grant at vsac.org. And if you don't have a financial aid package yet, it may be that you're missing documents with our office. If that's not the case, certainly just contact us directly. We can look at your accounts individually. We are also having our keys open office hours from 1 to 2:30 this afternoon, which we can meet with folks individually on their accounts. And then for the loans, you want to make sure you're completing the promissory note and the counseling requirements in order for those loans to disperse on time. And then registrar next steps, you want to set up your FERPA authorization, find your VSD class schedule, and review your program evaluation. And the student accounts next steps, you want to make sure you're either waiving or accepting the student health insurance. We do send reminders also during the summer and into the school year. You do have until September 30th to waive that, but we do send reminders quite frequently if students haven't completed those yet. And then find your billing statement online in your self-service account and set up any authorized user that you want as well. And final slide here. So tips for success, just keep informed and communicate with those, helping pay your bill, and start planning now to get your bill paid by the August due date. Watch your online account, your FERPA again, very important. Again, check your VTC email. This is our main form of communication. So. All right, so that's all that I have, and I will stop sharing. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Liz. So you got to hear a lot of great information about both academics and key student services, which includes financial aid, registrar, and student accounts. And we've got about 20 minutes to do some questions. So we're happy to take questions on anything you've heard so far from Key Student Services, academics, the panel that you were in, anything that you're interested in hearing. So feel free to type into the chat and I can start moderating, or you can unmute yourself if you'd like, although that may get a little bit hectic with 190 participants, but if not too many people talk over one another, we can do that. So I do see the first question. Where do we find our portal password and username? So Liz, do you want to go over that a little bit again? Or I know IT is going to talk about that in the afternoon if you sign into their session.
Yeah, and that should have been provided up front, I believe, in their acceptance packet as well from admissions. At least their portal, well, it would be their username, I believe. I don't know if Corey can chime in on that to answer. I believe their username is provided in their acceptance packet. Is that right?
So if you log into your applicant status page where you viewed your application decision, your username should be listed right on that page there for you to have access to.
And if you have any questions, IT, that's information technology, has open sessions this afternoon. We'll talk about at the end of the program. I'd highly recommend you jump into that. It would be like a 2-minute question. They can walk you through that. And also the online first year experience will have information on that. Let's see. Do VAST students have to apply for FAFSA?
So it is helpful. So VAST students, financial aid is limited for VAST students. However, if they do the FAFSA and they are Pell Grant eligible, then they are eligible for the fee waiver for the course fees and lab fees. The only course fee it doesn't waive are the pilot program course fees, but it would be like your student activity fee, your matriculation fee, and your facilities fee. So as a VAST student, it would be beneficial to you to complete the FAFSA, to see if you're Pell Grant eligible, and if you're a Vermont resident, to do the VSAC grant application as well, because VSAC does provide small grants for VAST students as well.
And if people don't understand, grants like Pell, that's free money. That's not loans. You don't have to pay it back. So take any of the free money you can get.
Yes. Yep.
Let's see. How do you reject your student loans? My billing statement shows I was awarded loans, but I'd prefer not to take them. Liz, do you want to handle that one?
Sure. Just send us a quick email with your name and ID number, and we can go ahead and update your account. And that's finaid@vtc.edu. And I'll just type that into the chat box.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz. Next question. How do I make sure all my past college credits went through so I'm not taking classes I've already taken? Shelly happened to be on the line, our registrar. Do you want to take that one? Or Darlene, our assistant registrar?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
It was, how do I make sure my past college credits went through so I'm not taking classes I've already taken?
You will get an email from us with a transcript evaluation showing everything that is transferred in. We do make sure that when we register you for classes that you are not put into anything that is transferred in. So look for that email.
Thanks, Shelley. What is the program evaluation? Does it need to be done prior to classes? That sounds like a Rose question. Rose, would you know how to answer that one?
The program evaluation, you could sit down with your advisor to review that, and no, you don't need to look at that before you arrive. But it is a good idea to learn how to do that, and you would be able to get that information from your advisor.
Thanks, Rose. Next one, if money from a student loan is still pending and hasn't reached the school by August 1st, will we be cut from the program? I'm pretty sure I know that one, and that's a no. That's okay as long as you have applied, right, Liz?
Yes, correct.
So don't worry. Just make sure you fill out the FAFSA and then work with Key Student Services.
Yep.
Liz, can we see bills due by slide from your presentation again, please? So do you want to pull that up, Liz, as I'm reading?
I actually just provided the link in the chat box right out to the billing due date site.
Perfect. I didn't get down that far. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
I might have missed this, but when do classes begin and when do students move into housing? Classes begin August 24th. Right now, students move into housing August 22nd if you're new, August 23rd if you're a returner. But if you're coming from out of state from a hot spot, you're going to have to come in quarantine, and we're tentatively saying you're coming August 12th. So if you want more specific information, if you're not sure what category you fall into, please email studentaffairs@vtc.edu. I'll actually type that into the chat. That would be myself and my team. We can answer any questions regarding housing. Or any questions in general we can't answer. If we don't know them, we'll route them to the right people. So I've got to move back up. Miss, where was that? Oh, here we go. For the paramedic program, is A&P scheduled for you, or do you have to sign up for A&P on your own? I think you get scheduled. Is that correct, Shelley?
Yes, that is correct. Anything that is needed for your program, less any transfer or earned credits, you will be registered for.
Thanks, Shelley. Is there still time to sign up for private loans, and can financial aid at VTC help with that? Liz?
Yes, Melissa, there is definitely still time to sign up for private loans. Those are pretty quick turnaround time. And certainly if you want more guidance on that, we can meet with you this afternoon, or you can call us, email us, and we can help walk you through that process.
Awesome. Thank you, Liz.
You're welcome.
Next question. I am taking a course online right now. How do I let the school know, get credit, and have that course taken on my class schedule? Shelley?
You would want to make sure that if it is not within the Vermont State Colleges, that you send us a transcript, an official transcript.
I've applied for FAFSA and VSAC. How do I know where I stand? I haven't heard anything. So I think that would be contact Key Student Services, right, Liz?
Yes, yep, definitely get a hold of our office and we can look at your account. Absolutely.
My health screening forms require a flu shot, which I understand usually happens in the fall. Should I attempt to have it done earlier than that? No, because when you get the flu shot this early, it's not as effective. So we will have them available for students through health services. I would recommend, unless your program tells you you need it earlier, that you take it in October. That's the ideal time, I'm told, from our coordinator of health services.
And Jason?
Yeah.
They're due November 1st.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate that. Hi, folks. What do you know about any resources at VTC for parents and especially single parents of young children? One of my main concerns going to this is how I will be able to attend classes and make sure my daughter is taken care of. I have limited, almost non-existent childcare options already outside of attending school. What support exists here? Unfortunately, we don't have a childcare facility on campus. If you email VTC, student affairs at vtc.edu, we'll try to help to the best of our ability, but that's an issue in Randolph in general. If you're one of our nursing site students, I would get you connected with the site directors to see if we have any contacts, but that is going to be a challenge for a lot of people, and I do understand that, especially with COVID-19. I'm worried as well. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old trying to figure out if we don't have school, where to send them, so we'll try and work it through together. For those of us in CBMC, LNA, or LPN program, are we still being billed for student activities and security when we're not on campus that receives and utilizes these services? You are, because we do provide those services. Security is available if you ever need anything. We try to do remote activities, and each one of your sites actually has a student that is elected to represent your site, and they try to utilize those services. So, Sarah, anything additional you want to add as the nursing coordinator?
Thanks, Jason. No, I would just say that these services are provided, they're just provided alternatively to distance students. So you will have opportunities for virtual student activities. As Jason said, you'll have a class representative who helps coordinate group activities within your site. And the security fee also, I believe, supports IT security, and that's definitely something that our distance students utilize.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sarah. I've been approved for a grant and scholarship for VSAC. Congratulations. Who do I contact to find out the amount I need to cover once those amounts are applied? That would be student accounts, right, Liz?
Yep.
And that they're all part of Key Student Services.
Yes.
So you could email student
Any
accounts.
one of us. Yep.
So if you're out of state, it's best just to come for the 12th. Not necessarily. So I'll give you an example. I actually, when I'm not there on campus, when I'm home on the weekends, I live in South Glens Falls, New York. We're not a highly infected county. So if I were a student, I wouldn't need to come in quarantine there. I would just need to make sure I'm not traveling out of my county or anything. It's really, if you're coming from a county that is highly infected, that you're going to need to come on the 12th. So email me, I can let you know, or there's actually a map that we go in and we look at for that. But we don't want to have people coming that early if you don't have to. But what we would ask that you do is that you do get your COVID-19 test before you come, so we make sure you're in good shape. What is the VTC matriculation fee for? Liz or somebody from Key Student Services want to tackle that one?
Yeah, that is the orientation fee. That's a one-time fee. Angie can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a one-time fee you only see in the first semester.
Thanks, Liz.
Yeah.
Do all students need to have a COVID-19 test done, or only students coming from hotspots? If we do need a COVID-19 test done, do we make sure the college knows we had it done? Great question. We actually covered this in the student affairs session, but I'll share for all right now. So before you come to campus, if you're not coming from Vermont, you do need to get a COVID-19 test done. If you're coming from Vermont, right now the governor's requirement doesn't have you taking a test beforehand, as long as you're not traveling out of Vermont, because our confirmed cases are so low. However, 7 days after arrival, everybody has to test. So we're working that process out. So more information to come on that. So there's a lot of requirements that came out from the governor this week. I'll go over some of that briefly, but feel free to go to the Vermont State Health Department's website, and they give you that specific information. I'm in the PN program at the Middlebury site. Are we responsible for, we already talked about that. I need to have an updated two-step PPD. Can I have this done at my work as it is available? I don't know what that is. Do you know that, Sarah?
Yeah, so the two-step PPD, if it's available, yes, please get it. You can also get a blood test for tuberculosis screening if you want. That's called a quantiferon gold or a T-spot. But the two-step has to be done for all incoming PN or first-time attendees. So your first PPD needs to be planted in red, and then within 1 to 3 weeks, you need to have the second. And that information results should be uploaded to your Castle Branch account.
Thanks, Sarah. I have college credits I've not yet transferred that are outside of Vermont. Where do I send the transcripts? That goes to the registrar's office. Shelley, do you want to type into the chat just a best way to get it to you? I'm seeing a nod, so we'll go on to the next one. Can we travel to green zones? So what we're recommending is that you try to stick within your county. That's a recommendation, not a requirement. You can travel to green zones, but if you travel to hotspots, you're going to have to quarantine, so don't do that. So the short answer is yes, but it's recommended you try not to do that. Where am I able to find out if my county is a hotspot? So it's on the State Department's website. If you email me, I can send you a link for that. Will face coverings be mandatory in all common spaces everywhere except your dorm room? Yes, that is correct. Will it work for dining? Okay, so everybody is going to be required to wear masks except when you're outside and you can be more than 6 feet apart. You're going to need your mask in the classroom. When you go to the dining hall, you'll have to wear the mask into the dining hall. You'll have to wear it while you get your food. But when you sit down and eat, obviously, you need to be able to eat, so you can take the mask off for that. This is all part of the governor's requirements. This is not optional for us. All schools in Vermont are going to need that, so we need everybody to follow. If you do have health issues that preclude you from wearing a mask, you can contact our disability services coordinator, Robin, and she'll work out an alternative plan for you. I'm enrolled in an LPN program at Randolph site. Are we doing classes remotely or in person? At the current moment, it's in person. If we have received federal aid but no private scholarship, should I still submit the 2021 outside aid form and certification statements form? If so, where should I send it, fax it? Liz, I'm thinking yes.
Yeah, if she didn't, then no, it's not necessary. I did respond to her chat as well.
Will regular COVID testing be done on campus throughout the semester? So the testing will be before you come if you're from out of state, and then 7 days in for everybody. That's the only mandatory testing we have to do at the current moment, but we have to do health screenings every single day. Again, we're going to cover this in the student affairs session, but the health screenings will be done by signing into Castle Branch. Nursing students should be familiar with this already. You'll sign in, you'll start your own account, you take your temperature every day, you report your temperature, and then you're asked certain questions just to make sure you don't have symptoms that you could have COVID-19. If your temperature goes above 100 or you answer yes to any of the questions, we actually are going to ask you to stay home from class that day until your temperature comes down or you're answering no to those questions. Please follow that. You will not be penalized. We will work with your faculty. We want to make sure there is no spread of the virus. Don't feel like because you're starting to get behind, you should come to campus if your temperature is over 100. Keep everybody safe. We'll work with you. It's okay. Is there reimbursement for our health screening costs? My insurance company doesn't cover educational school physicals and how that's high bill. From what I understand from the governor, if you are a Vermont state resident, you should be able to get your COVID-19 test with no cost to you. That's what he's saying. So push your insurance company if they're trying to charge you a copay or anything. The before you come to campus one is going to be on you. Once you get here, we're working with Gifford to hopefully be able to test students on campus, yet to be determined. We don't want students to take on a large cost for that. So email me individually at studentaffairs@VTC if you got questions on that. Do we know
if I get tested every 9 days through work, will that count for school?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. As long as you followed whatever quarantine protocol you have. So what county are you coming from?
I'm a Vermont resident. I live in Windham County, but I work in Sullivan County, and I work at a nursing home, and they require us to get tested every 9 days. Like I just got tested a few minutes ago.
You'll be good as long as you provide that to us. You won't have to do an additional test. Bob, am I correct?
Yes, that's what we're right, Sarah? Any reason to?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
For nursing students, we're actually going to add the COVID tests to your panel that already exists in Castle Branch so that you can just directly upload your results.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That was my question too.
So there's still lots of questions, but unfortunately we're out of time for this session. As people are speaking, I'll try to read through these and see ones we haven't answered to highlight when we have time. And I will save time at the end for questions if we don't cover everything. But I would like to move into our next session so we don't shortchange our folks. I believe it is Bonnie from the library that's kicking it off, or is it Beth from CAS?
It should be Bonnie from the library.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hello. So, hi, everyone. I'm Bonnie Lord. I'm one of the librarians at Hartness Library. So I'm just going to spend a couple minutes. It'll be pretty brief, telling you a little bit about what we offer at the library and what the library can do for you. And then I'll kick it off to Beth from the Center for Academic Success. And one thing is the library and the Center for Academic Success do work really closely together. So even if you're working with one of us, you might find that we're bringing in people from the other departments also. So Hartness Library, if you've been to CCV or Vermont Tech before, you might already be familiar with us. We serve both colleges. We have we have sites on the Randolph and the Williston campuses, but we also have a very large online presence. So anyone who's off campus, who's at one of the nursing sites or taking remote classes only, you should still be able to access the library with no problems. So what the Hartness Library has for you, we have over 40,000 print books that you can access. We have over 300,000 ebooks, over 80,000 journals that you can access online, plus some that we have on campus. And we also have several video streaming databases. So all of this is to say that you can access most of our materials online. And then what you can't access online, you can request from us and we can send it to you at no cost. You can return anything that we send to you to a CCV or a Vermont Tech site. If you aren't able to return it to one of the sites, you do have to mail it back, but you can use the media rate at the post office and it's never more than $5. So other than that, some of the stuff that we do have on site, so if you're going to be at Randolph or at Williston, we have computers at both libraries. We also have printers and copiers and then other office supplies like staplers, hole punchers, just things that you may need throughout the semester. We have coffee makers on both campuses, and at the Randolph campus, campus, you can also buy coffee there. If you're in Williston, you'll need to bring your own K-cups for a Keurig machine. And then at both campuses, we also have study rooms and group study rooms. So the study rooms are just quiet rooms with a computer that you can go into if they're empty, and it's a really great way just to shut yourself off and focus if you have homework assignments or if you just need to take a quick break between classes, that kind of thing. The group study rooms you can actually reserve in advance, which I really suggest doing because they go fast during the semester, especially once group projects start coming in. And so the group study rooms, they also have a computer, but they also have large desk space so that you can work on large projects or with multiple people. So one of the things that the librarians can do to help you is we can help you with research questions or help you find materials that you need for your classes, or if you have citations that you need to do for classes and you haven't done citations in a long time, I strongly suggest reaching out to us because that's the kind of thing that we love doing. And then we also have interlibrary loan. So this service that the library offers, if we don't have a book or a video or a journal, anything that you need, you can still request it and we can try to borrow it from a different library. So one of the library's beliefs is that you guys shouldn't have to pay for information, and we will do anything we can to make that happen. So if you ever have questions about interlibrary loan, if it's something that you don't think we have, just let us know and we're happy to see how we can get it for you. So if you do, I'm going to go ahead and just pop on to share my screen so you guys can see the library website. And sorry, give me one moment. Okay, so you guys should be seeing the library website right now. One of the things I want to show you is the different ways that you can reach us. If you click help, this orange button in the top right corner, it'll show you all the ways we're available at that time. So you can always call us. I know it's a 1-800 number, but I promise it's not scary. You're going to reach one of like 8 people and we all work here. You can text us, and you can see right now it says closed. That's because text is not on right now, but it will be on during this semester, and it is on during certain times in the summer. We also have a live chat option. So that's just a little IM box that'll pop up and you can reach us immediately when you do that. And we have the email at hartness@vsc.edu. And then you can also come in person at either campus and we can help you there as well. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this website, but I will tell you, you will be able to find it easily. There should be a link in every single one of your Canvas courses in the navigation that says Hartness Library Resources. So these are curated collections of databases, journals, ebooks, and tutorials that we think could be helpful for whatever subject that class is. And it also links back to the Hartness Library, so you can use that to easily get here. You might also find in some of your Canvas courses that you have a class librarian, and that's going to be a librarian that follows along in the course with the students, and then we can post relevant materials that the library has or tips for research, that kind of thing along the way. So I feel like I spoke really quickly and got through all of this faster than I meant to, so I'm going to kick it over to Beth. If you have any library questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box and I will take a look and respond as I can. Thank you.
Am I there? Hello?
Ready to kick it off, Beth?
I think so. I didn't see myself.
Gotcha. Beth Camp, one of our academic counselors over in the Center for Academic Success.
Thanks, Jason. So again, many people today have talked about CAS and the Center for Academic Success and the need for you to be supported and get the help. It's there. It's there on all campuses. It's at the Williston campus. I will put in the contact information for that office. You can also contact us at cas@vtc.edu. I have lots of areas of expertise within our department that works closely with Jason's department, but we have tutoring for all of your classes, or most of your classes. Peer tutoring, professional tutoring, writing help. It can be done online. It can be done in person. We have drop-in tutoring. It all depends on how our semester goes. But if we don't have it, we'll reach out to your instructors to see if we can get that assistance for you. I guess the biggest part is most of our students, as far as tutoring go, use it to keep those high grades. And that's the part that I think is most important. It's not like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Now it's time to get the tutoring. Do it before you think there's a concern because it's free. And that's what your academic dean has been talking about, and everyone else is reaching out to get that support you need. Another part of the CAS is academic counseling. That can be time management. That could be organizational skills, things that maybe aren't coming as natural as what you thought. You have a lot of time on your hands that you need to learn how to manage, and there's somebody there that can help you do that. Sometimes stressors get in the way, and they aren't at the level where you need personal counseling, but maybe someone just to help you focus and settle down and be able to stay on point. Those things are hard, especially in this transition time, and know that there's someone there to talk to. You can reach the main office. It's at 728-1396. Again, I'll put that in the chat. But the last part of the Center for Academic Success is the TRIO program, and it's housed there. And that's a federal grant designed to support students that are first generation, students who might be of moderate income. You received a Pell Grant, or you could be a student with a disability. You could be one, you could be all three. But there's a lot of support there for you. And we can help you with your education and help you comprehend the financial side of things. And we work with all the different offices on campus to help you find that voice. So know that there's someone there to help you. Again, the TRIO piece is very helpful for being that extra safety net, and there's also scholarships that can be associated with the TRIO grant that you might be eligible to apply for. I'm trying to think what else. I just know that there's so much support there that I really think that all you have to learn to do is ask for that help, and know that we won't let you fall between the cracks, and we'll be there working together for your success. So that's what I got. And I think I should put that contact information, but all sites can access the tutoring online with the nursing sites, the Williston sites. Everybody has access. You can find it on your portal. There is a link for it, but I will also, again, put it in the chat here so that you can connect. But we look forward to helping you, and I don't know much more that I can say except for don't wait and reach out. Thank you, Jason.
And that's why I love Beth and Bonnie. They are short to the point and gave us about another 10 minutes to do questions. So thank you.
Well, I could get a little more involved, but I think that there's so many. I watched you reading the chat, and there's a lot of other questions as well. And I want to make sure, I think if they have our contact information, that they'll be good to go.
Absolutely. So let's get into the chat. Do you need help with required textbooks? I'm not sure what that means. Oh, but it looks like Bonnie answered that in the chat. So where do we find the required materials for each major? Did anybody answer that?
I answered one also.
You cover that? Okay. So, man, Bonnie's on top of this. How will group study rooms operate with COVID-19? So you're going to have to be social distancing, staying 6 feet apart from people, wearing masks. That doesn't mean that you can't commingle, but you're not going to be in close proximity. So if you want to do study groups, you might want to look for larger spaces, maybe like the campus center. You're not going to want to go to rooms where you're going to be right on top of one another. Other questions, things we haven't covered yet, please feel free to put into the chat box. If the bookstore site is confusing, we can walk you through to find your textbooks. That's coming from Robin. If there's a positive case of COVID-19, what is the process that'll be followed? So if that's a great question. So if there's a positive case and we can get you off campus, our goal will be to get you home as immediately as possible, not have you coming back to campus again until you're healthy. We will work with you to try and get your classes taken care of remotely. And then we'll have to do contract tracing with anybody you've been in close proximity with. If you happen to live on campus, we're going to have to probably lock down the floor that you're in proximity with students with, but we'll have a plan for that. If you can't get home, we will have a quarantine location. We have a house off campus that we've dedicated towards that. Obviously, if we have a lot of cases, then we have to think about what that means. So How do we buy a laptop through the school? Anybody from IT on here? Is Asher on? I don't hear them. Well, IT has a session this afternoon. I'm not sure if they sell laptops or not. You could definitely ask them that question, but I do know that they have loaner laptops that they can provide. And actually, they're in the library, right, Bonnie?
So there are loaner laptops through the library. With what's been happening with COVID, we have given those to IT for the current period of time. They were IT purchased to begin with. So definitely ask in the IT room. I don't know if they're going to be checked out through IT or through the library this semester.
There's a question of being a technical school. What steps is VTC taking to continue hands-on technical aspect of learning central as we will be completing this semester remotely after Thanksgiving? I know, actually, why don't I have Rose talk to that if she's still on? I know Anna has been working with the faculty on that. Rose, you still available? She might have stepped away. So our academic team is working with each of the department chairs to make sure that we're delivering our content both in person and remotely. That's why we definitely want to have you here for some of the year. There are labs and critical aspects that are going to be important. Maybe even Sarah could talk specifically on the nursing, but each program is going to be different. Sarah, do you want to talk about what site directors are doing?
Sure. So all of the nursing administration folks and faculty are actively planning how we can deliver labs and clinicals safely for students and faculty during the school year with using PPE. We're updating our policies for, wearing your scrubs to school and then or wearing your street clothes to school and then changing into scrubs when you get there and then changing before you leave again, social distancing in the lab setting. There most certainly will be times when you are not 6 feet from your peers in the lab and certainly when you're doing patient care in the clinical setting. So if that's something that anybody's uneasy about, then you should contact your site director directly and have a conversation. But we are training healthcare providers, so getting close is part of that, and we're going to do it as safely as we possibly can. All of those policies that are being updated right now will be available before classes start, and we'll review them during nursing orientations in August.
Thanks, Sarah. And I would say, if you have specific questions, talk to the chair of your department. They can give you more information than we can here. Next question, is there any update regards to single and double room housing? So it is our sincere hope to house people in singles. It hasn't been decided yet. You'll find out by August 3rd. Our numbers are tracking pretty well in Randolph that'll be the capability. In Williston, probably not the case. There will probably be some doubles in Williston, just given that we only have one building there. Will families be able to help us with move-in during COVID-19? So if we follow the governor's order specifically, he does allow for up to 2 guests to come with you. We are going to strongly recommend that unless you have heavy items that you can't move on your own, you move in yourself. If you are bringing people with you, they should be quarantined. They should get tested. We don't want to bring people into our environment that could have possibly come in contact with anybody that's tested positive. But the governor's order does allow for family members just for the move-in. We're not allowed to have guests beyond that, though. Is there a link to ask for a voucher for textbooks to be able to pay for textbooks? Liz or anybody from Key Student Services know that answer? Anybody still out there? It's a good question for Key Student Services. Shoot them an email or jump on their afternoon session.
Hi, this is Jeannie. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Couldn't figure out the unmute button. Students that have excess financial aid over and above their costs for the fall semester will be able to purchase books at the bookstore. We'll send the bookstore a list of students who are eligible. If you want to find out for you yourself, you can contact Key Student Services or finaid@vtc.edu.
To clarify, if a student is sick but not with COVID-19, are they still required to return home? That would depend what you're sick with and if you are going to be able to spread or not. We would ask you to talk to Bob, our coordinator of health services. If you have a cold or something like that, no, we're not going to ask you to go home. But if you have some type of disease that you could be infecting others, we probably would ask you to go home. Bob, is that correct?
Yes, that's what we've done in the past. We might ask you to stay in your room for 24 hours, 48 until you're better, and you'll be monitoring yourself daily with the system checks on Castle Branch. So you'll be checking your temperature. We are going to provide thermometers when you get here, so each person will be able to do that from their room, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Thanks, Bob. Next question, is there a system in place to initiate contact tracing before a positive case occurs? Yes, so a couple things. One, we're going to be asking you to keep a journal. It's not required. We're not going to be checking it, but we are asking you to keep a journal over 2 weeks of who you're in contact with. That'll be in the health contract we're asking everybody to sign. The state has actually offered to do contact tracing, so if we do have a positive case, we are going to get you connected with the health department. We will provide them with where you live, who lives in that building near you, what your class schedule is. So we're going to be partnering with the health department on that, but we need you to cooperate. For ADN transition program in Rutland, will we be learning remotely or still going to the site for classes? I believe everybody is still going to the site at the current moment, right, Sarah? All right. I've not heard anything about an IT session until today. Is that a continuation of the orientation? If not, can anyone join? If so, where would we find the link? So we're going to go, it's on your agenda for today, and we're going to go over that at the end of the session. It's not required, but anybody can join in whether you signed up for orientation today or not. And IT is available beyond that. We just wanted to have open office hours though. Where will I get my textbook list? Shelley or anybody want to cover that one, the textbook list? Or did we, I think somebody put it in the email, the bookstore, so that should give you that information. The semester schedule indicates no breaks until November 24th. Does this include not traveling home on weekends if you live in Vermont? So if you live in Vermont, it's not required that you stay on campus. It's recommended unless your county becomes a hotspot. Then it will be required that you don't leave. If you live out of state, though, we are requiring you to stay on campus unless you get special permission. Where is the Rutland site for the ADN? I don't know that one. Do you know, Sarah?
Sure. So the classroom is going to be at Stafford Technical Center in Rutland. And then most clinical is going to be performed at Rutland Regional.
Thanks, Sarah. I live in New Hampshire and will be traveling to my campus every day. Does this change how often I get the COVID test done? No, as long as you're not in a hotspot, no. You would get the test done before you come to campus, and then 7 days later. If you're in a hotspot, though, we'll have to talk about what that means. We talked about the website for the bookstore. Schedule-wise, whenever you're ready, it is almost, that was Corey. That's right, it's 11 o'clock. These are such great questions. I lost track of time, but we're gonna have to move on. We'll save time at the end of the program for any questions that were unanswered, but get ready to get shipped into your next breakout session. Corey, hit the button whenever you're ready. Congratulations, you've made it through almost all of orientation. We've got a couple minutes we're going to talk to you about next steps, which are our first year experience online. So I think Lisa Fox is going to kick that one off. Lisa, are you available and ready to go?
Yep, I'm right here.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Lisa Fox, and I am one of the nursing site directors and also the schools coordinator for nursing and health professions. I've been working closely with other members of student affairs and many of our other departments to create this new course for all of you. We're calling the Online First Year Experience. Mary Catherine and Kathleen are going to talk a little bit more about what is in the first year experience, but just letting you know, this is a new Canvas course that we've developed just for you. It involves pretty much every area of the college and is going to have a lot of fun stuff, activities, resources, contact information, a lot of different ways that you can get in touch with folks if you need help with things, and also, just a way to connect with one another and maybe make some new friends, connect with other people in the college, a lot of different things like that. You will see it show up on your Canvas course. If you haven't noticed it already, right now it's labeled as orientation, but starting next week, now that orientations are completed, it will show up, we're relabeling it, and it will show up as the first year experience. So I will be sending out a letter to everybody, letting you know when the new course is open, and we have all of our new information there for you. And please come in, take a look, and start going through all of the stuff that we have there for you. And really, hopefully, this will help you get through this first year, and make sure that you have all the tools that you need to be successful. Mary Catherine, are you here?
I am. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks again, everyone, for participating today. If you take anything away from today, 2 things. We're here to help. There's lots of support and resources. What you'll find is it's really hard to get lost at Vermont Tech, and we generally want to know how you're doing, how are classes, how is it to be in the esports club, or how is basketball, what's going on, because we really want you to be successful, and successful doesn't mean just in the classroom. So today you saw a few faces. We don't expect you to remember us all, but go in, please. When this first year experience class goes live, go in, check it out. We'll be there. Contact us. I'll be reaching out to you through a forum. Never hesitate. So again, welcome. Enjoy your experience, and know we're here to support you and provide you with the best college experience we possibly can. Thanks so much.
And I would just like to echo what Lisa and Mary Catherine have said as well, that I love the way that Mary Catherine says you can't get lost at Vermont Tech, that there are so many resources and supports here for you. If you miss it in one place, you can catch it in another place. You just walk into an office and you can get the help you need. And if you can't get it right there, we will point you in the right direction. And this first year experience course really encapsulates so much information that you can go back to over and over again as you need it throughout the semester, because you're going to go, oh, I just was inundated with how to register for classes here today, and come November when you need to do it again, you may not remember. So going back into this course will help you identify who you need to go to. But if you can't find it on the first year experience, please reach out to one of us as individuals, and we'll certainly point you in the right direction. We're so excited to have you be part of our Vermont Tech community, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Lisa, Mary Catherine, and Kathleen. So that brings us to the end of our official program. I'd like to pull up and share my schedule with you so you can know what the optional afternoon is like, and then we will open it up to any questions that weren't answered for anybody that wants to stick around.
I also sent the PDF in the chat, so you can click on it and save a copy yourself to refer back to after this ends.
Thanks, Corey. Much appreciated. So this afternoon, if you are interested, not required, but if you're interested, here are the offices that are going to do drop-in hours through Zoom. So first, we've got Key Student Services. The reminder, that is financial aid, registrar's office, and student accounts. They'll be available from 1 to 2:30 today, and the Zoom link is there and in the chat that Corey sent you. IT, our information technology office, which can help you set up your accounts if you haven't already, will be available today from 12:30 to 3 p.m. Disability Services, Robin, will be available today as soon as this meeting ends until 4:15. Our nursing sites all have scheduled hours. Our site director, who you met, Lisa Fox, for the Northwest region, is available 12:30 to 2:30. Julie Coate for the Northeast Kingdom is available 1 to 4 p.m. Sarah, who is for our Central region, that would include Randolph, is available 1 to 3 p.m. Becky for our Southeast region is available 1 to 5 p.m. And then Sarah, who's also covering our Southwest region, is available 1 to 3. Additionally, vet tech students, I believe they want all vet tech students to jump on that call from 12:15 to 1:30. And then VAS students jump on a call right after this ends until 12:45 with Steve. And then athletics, all of the coaches are trying to set up hours or have availability to meet outside of this time. So Casey, our women's soccer coach, available 12:30 to 1:30. Matt, our men's soccer coach, also available 12:30 to 1:30. Bob, our men and women's cross country and track and field coach, is not available via Zoom, but is asking you to email with any questions. And same thing with Jamal, our men's basketball coach. Please email with any questions. And then for women's basketball, if you have any questions, please email Hillary Linehan, our director of athletics. So let's see, stop sharing screen. So that is our official program, but I want to make sure that we can answer questions that were not done already. So I'm going to suggest that we'll be available for the next 15 minutes or so, or if we need to go a little longer, we will. If you don't have questions, feel free to jump off, sign into one of the afternoon sessions, or enjoy this very hot but beautiful day. So let's start with questions. Can you send me a link to the VAS link? I didn't get the meeting agenda. So Jade, if you want to email student affairs at vtc.edu, we can get that to you. I'm able to switch one or more of my classes from the winter semester to fall semester if I'm a nursing student. Also, how do I get a parking pass for Randolph? Email was mentioning parking passes will be available on the website, but we're changing our vendor, so can't get that quite yet. And I'm not sure about the winter semester to fall semester in the nursing program. Sarah or Lisa, do either you want to cover that?
Sure. So our PN program is on a special calendar that's different from our other majors. So you actually can't switch your courses between semesters. It's a very prescribed curriculum. But you will be registered automatically for each semester. And if you're talking about A&P or growth and development and nutrition, you will be automatically registered for those as well.
Thanks, Sarah.
Sarah, I'm just gonna, jump on because we do have some ADN students on here as well. So if you're an ADN student and are looking to do a different course or add one to the fall, you can speak with your advisor.
Yes, ADN students do have that flexibility. It is just the PN students who can't change their schedule.
Thank you both. There was a question about if campus tours are happening. So from what I understand, and Corey, jump in if I'm wrong, we're not doing on-campus tours, but we're trying to set up virtual campus tours. And that's in the works. I do encourage people, if you're in Randolph or Williston, that you drive through our campus. We're not locked down. You won't be able to get into buildings, but both campuses are beautiful. So check out what the space is like, but you're not going to be able to go into buildings, especially residence halls, just because of COVID-19. Corey, is there anything you want to add though?
No, we don't have a specific plan in place. We are doing virtual events every so often. We do have photos of on campus and what rooms look like and things like that. We are having some videos weekly on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. through Facebook. We've done several. They're all posted on our website too under tours and events, so you can see some labs specifically and hear from faculty in some different departments.
Thanks, Corey. Looks like Kathleen posted the VAS Zoom link, so that's taken care of. And then I don't know what region Linden is in and what is the Zoom address. Is that the Northeast Kingdom for Linden?
Correct. So that'll be Julie Cote's Zoom address that is on the schedule.
What will the practical nursing program look like in the fall? Will it go online after Thanksgiving break like the other programs? It will, but I'll let Sarah or Lisa tell you more about that.
Yes, currently the PN calendar is not changing. We are planning on face-to-face labs and clinical continuing, but class times will likely go remote after the Thanksgiving break.
Next one, will nursing students be provided masks or do we need to provide your own? So I know we're getting masks, at least one mask for every student. I don't know beyond that if nursing provides stuff.
Correct. We will provide masks for lab and clinical settings. So when you need to be within that 6-foot potential zone. But for class times, you can wear the masks that the school will be providing or your own fabric masks.
And then the next question was, are all classes in classroom at this time? I heard the radiology classes might be online and was hoping for more info on radiology. So as of this moment, we're talking about classes in person, but we're also looking at other scenarios depending on what happens. But as of right now, it's in-person classes. From what I understand, I got an email from Roger Whedon, who is the chair of that program, and they anticipate being able to get into clinicals. I'd recommend reaching out to Roger Whedon directly, though, if you have questions about that. How was clinical conducted this past spring for the ADN program? I don't think it happened, right, Sarah?
It did happen, but the program was completed virtually. So there were online virtual scenarios that students worked with in addition to case studies and those types of exercises. So it didn't physically happen at a clinical site.
Got it. And we really hope not to do that. We want to, even if we can't be directly in person all year long, we want to make sure we get your labs in. That's important for almost all of the programs that we have. So that's one of the scenarios we're looking at. And then I work in medical ICU, and if a critically ill COVID-19 patient comes in, I would most likely come into contact with them. We use PPE. Will this be an issue attending class? So if the state health department gives us guidance, we need to follow that. But I haven't heard that if you're protected that you would have to go into quarantine. Sarah, have you heard anything about that?
At the moment, as long as you're following your facility protocols, that's not considered an exposure. But you need to make sure that you're using your PPE appropriately, performing hand hygiene, et cetera. But Karen, certainly we understand that people work.
Yeah, and Karen, you're in my region, and we have a protocol from UVMMC for students to follow, and you will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I think it's actually much better for our healthcare workers because this is your industry. I'm more nervous about people that want to work at a grocery store in a county that might be highly infected or things like that, because that's not their area of expertise. So, working is great, but try to do jobs where you're protected and not going to be overly exposed. Will classes like math and English, not hands-on technical classes, be considered to be done online? That is something we're talking about, and it all could change at the flip of a hat depending on what the governor says or, where we think we're at. We see cases increasing right now. So, if we do have to move towards online, it's going to be those classes like math and English that are going to be easier for us to flip than the labs. What is the plan for classes after Thanksgiving break? I'm not fully up to speed. So as of the Friday after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving, students will go home. So it's like a week and a half to 2 weeks. You'll take your classes and your finals remotely. It's a very, very short period because we've eliminated our breaks. We're not doing the Thanksgiving break. We're going straight through. Rose, anything additional you want to add from the academic perspective?
I think you're all correct on it, and it's just a matter of stay tuned if there's any changes or additional updates.
There's a question, does Rutland have a PN program or just ADN? I don't know that one.
Currently just ADN. We're looking at adding the PN component next academic year.
And I'm in a PN program at St. Albans. Our classes held at CCV. Also, where are the clinicals?
I'll let Lisa answer that.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Charlene. I did text you back in the text box, but as of right now, all of your lecture classes will be at CCV in St. Albans. And to start with, your lab will be in Williston on the Williston campus. And we'll talk more about that on our orientation on August 12th as well.
Next question, if a state becomes a red zone and that state or region becomes quarantine, how would the student maneuver the rest of the semester? So if it's not the state of Vermont, basically we need you to hunker down and not leave Vermont. You stay there. If it is in the state of Vermont, we're in a lot of trouble. I mean, that's really the answer to that. We're going to have to start doing things remotely. But right now, Vermont has one of the lowest test rates in all of the country. So that's why we're taking all these protocols, and we want to keep it safe. We don't want the outbreak to spread here. Next question. So it would only be a couple weeks that we would be doing online classes. When will we find out what spring 2021 looks like? Yes, the plan right now is only a couple weeks for remote. Spring 2021, we haven't really gotten into yet because there is concern about a second wave, although we have to get through our first wave before we really think about a second wave. So my anticipation is that you'll start hearing from us probably mid to late October about what spring will look like, but we have not planned that out yet. Any other questions? I'm at the end of the list. I would suggest with the nursing questions, we've gotten into a lot of specifics that if you have more, you jump on one of your site calls or you go to you have to go to your orientation. That'll get covered there. But any other general questions that haven't been answered, I want to make sure we handle that because this is general orientation. No. All right. Well, I think we are done for the day. Thank you for sticking with us. I know Zoom is not the best modality, but hopefully we answered all your questions. If we didn't, email studentaffairs@vtc.edu. We're happy to either answer your question or route it to the correct location. Can't wait to see all of you for the start of the fall semester. Take care, everybody.